what were those triggers based on which you changed your thinking about position sizing?
My position sizing at first was highly affected by reading the first Market Wizards book by Schwager on Larry Hite of Mint. Larry was not, I would call, a rocket scientist. He was more of a street smart guy. And it just made sense to him that you got to make the bet size the same on every bet that you make. When I heard him say the term bet size in the interview, mathematically that would be where you're getting in versus where your stop loss is. So once I knew he was making that the same each time, I thought, all right, well, it's the same. It's got to be a percent of the equity somehow. So I started doing risk as a percent of equity, and that worked beautifully. And it improved my return to risk when I did the studies. But then I started, along the way, we had a silver trade that we got into, and the volatility was just unbelievable. When the trade started out, it wasn't, but when the trade kept going, it was getting very, very volatile. If this was volatility, the speed of movement is psychologically affecting our clients, because when markets move a lot, they're calling up and wanting to know what we're doing and all that. They're getting nervous. So it isn't just the risk of losing money, it's also the speed at which an investment moves that becomes a sort of risk factor in people's brains. So I need to think about controlling the volatility. So then I started saying, well, what if we did risk calculation and a volatility calculation both as a percent of equity, then take the smaller of the two, whatever the answer is. This one we go buy 10 contracts, this one says to buy 8, we buy 8. And then we added to that margin, because there's some markets like Eurodollars and other things that have a lot higher margin for the amount of movement. So the risk is low, the volatility is low, but every now and again you get these big jumps. And the margin people know that you get those big jumps, so they protect themselves in the exchanges by putting a higher margin on it. So we did margin to equity as well. Once we had all three in place, we never had a situation where we were all that embarrassed, because we had positions sized every day, across the portfolios, we were at the peak, we were trading like 75 markets or something. It was easy to do with the computers, and we could spread that risk a great deal.